Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shanti Mantra. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak pranaschakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakurya Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastva nirakaranam me astu Tadatmani nirate Ya Upanishatsu dharmaha Te mai santu Te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Coming to the page number 5. Sarvam khalvidam brahma tajjalan iti shanta upasita. So this part we discussed this morning. Sarvam khalvidam brahma iti. That may you see this fact that what is Brahma. So Brahma is the very cause. So, Viditatmananda, Bruhi Vriddhav, it's the oldest, meaning it's the cause, and material cause precedes the effect. So, by the word Brahma is meant the cause also. Means you see the effect as the cause. What we perceive is the effect, the names and forms, and effect cannot be unless there is a material cause. And the material cause always comes with the effect. Or if you don't see the cause, recognize that the effect cannot be without the cause, that the pot is nothing but the clay, and therefore the universe that is manifest is nothing but Brahma. This morning we said that Brahma is Satyam Jnanamanantam or Asti Bhati Priyam. May you see this? So there is a text called the Druk Dushya Viveka, which beautifully describes this. That what we perceive is name and form. Upeksha na rupe dve. May you do the upeksha. May you be indifferent towards name and form. Upeksha means being indifferent. That is having no raga and no dvesha, no attachment, no aversion, no agenda. as far as name and form is concerned, which is what we perceive, just ignore it, let it go, let it be. Satchidananda Tatparaha. May you be devoted to Satchidananda Asti Bhati Priyam. This is how they ask you to meditate. Here, this is not the object of meditation really, but then this is the fact that what is manifestation of Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanamanantam Asti Bhati Priya. And so name and form, they don't matter. In case of an actor, what costume he wears doesn't matter. He may appear as a beggar, or a king, or a minister, or anything. Upeksha, nama rupe dve, may you be indifferent to the costume, and may you focus your attention on the one that is putting on the costume, that is actor. So that model also we can see how it is Brahman, which is Ishvara here, alone is manifest in the costumes of names and forms. Costumes don't matter. This is the most wonderful thing. Costume doesn't matter. Is male, female, young, old, rich, poor, good, bad, indifferent, saint, sinner, all costume. Suhun mitra yudasina madhyastha dvesha bandhushu sadhu swabir papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. Suhrut may be well-wisher, mitra may be a friend, ari may be an enemy, udasina indifferent, madhyastha one who wishes well of both, he may be something who hates you, even that. Maybe a sinner, a saint, whoever it is. Samabuddhir vishishyate. One who sees samata, one who sees the oneness in them, that there is something samanam, there is something same in them. Although there is something dissimilar, of course, in all of them, and dissimilarity is what we perceive. But the beauty is that the dissimilarity all has its base in similarity, in sameness, not similarity. Same gold is there in all the ornaments, similarly also, same Brahman, same Ishvara. Brahma Ishvara. Your Ishtadevata. If Lord Krishna is Ishtadevata, well, that's what he is, or Shiva. Whoever the Ishtadevata is now. Those days it was Brahman. In which case names and forms remain of no importance. They don't matter, they don't count. What counts is the one who presents himself in the name and form. So, moment we shift our attention from the costume to the one who puts on the costume, to what is just apparent outwardly, to what it really is. As we said in the morning, when name and form are important, that one name and form interacts with another name and form, there is going to be duality and therefore, conflict, possibility. Raga Dvesha will be there. But what is there also is here, by the way, in the sense that Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma. But Idam also includes myself, that Brahman alone is. That being the case, there is no scope for judging me that something is superior, something is inferior, something is favorable, something unfavorable. What is favorable also is Brahman, unfavorable also is Brahman, superior also is Brahman, inferior also is Brahman, self also is Brahman, non-self also is Brahman. How it is I may not even know right now. But that's what they say, this is what it is. How that is so will be told us later. In the 6th chapter of this Upanishad, they will tell us how all of this is Brahman. Sadeva Swami Damagrasidekamayava. In this way they will tell us. But here they just say all this is Ishvara. And so when that is a drashti, when you shift our attention from this name and form or costume to the one that manifests through names and forms, then everything, then you are the same as I am, and X is same as Y. One is, there is no superiority, no inferiority. What happens with us is the human mind always compares. Whenever I come in contact with anybody, first thing that my mind does is brands it. They said, be no judgment, don't be judgmental, but we are always judgmental. It's nature of the mind to judge. Without judging, I can't even proceed really. Unless I judge you as something. Does he like me or not? Is he a friend or not? Is he good or bad? Is he, rich or poor? Is he better than me or not? Some judgment takes place. Depends on my complexes about myself. And then only I proceed to interact with you. I don't interact in the same way as everybody, do I? And somebody comes, if you put a closed circuit TV in my room and see how I behave different, it's all different. Somebody comes and different expressions. Why? Because I look upon that person in that way. So when things are different, there's going to be always some reaction from me which can be classified as attachment, raga or dvesha. Both of them in fact disturb my mind. My mind cannot be at peace when this comparison is there. Then it touches some complex in me. So moment you come before me, you push some button inside me. And somebody comes out of that. Some superior fellow, inferior fellow, whatever, somebody comes out. But then when you are the same as I, you are Brahman, you are Lord Krishna, Shiva, whatever. No comparison, because in same or one there is no comparison, no superior, no inferior. Nothing that is likable, dislikable, isn't it? This is a very simple rule given to us that this is what we should do in every interaction. Not only for meditation, of course, it's extremely useful to quieten the mind. ChhandogyaUpanishad, that's how the mind becomes quiet. What does it matter what the costume is? Oh, he's a very rich person, look at me. He's a very successful person, look at what I did in my life. No, he's also Brahman, I am also Brahman. So, Shantaha san upasita, thus, you'll find that mind becomes quiet. It's not that you quieten the mind, it is this approach that makes the mind quiet. It is some way of looking that makes the mind disturb, another way of looking that makes the mind quiet, that's all. What is what is. It depends on how I perceive, how I look at this, and who looks at it. So once you do this, then you meditate. So then what do you do? So, next the text says, let us read that. Atha khalo kartumayah purushah yatha kratuhu asmil loke purusho bhavati tatha itah pretya bhavati sakratam kurvita. Katham upasita, how should I meditate? So we are told here how to meditate. The kind of meditation that are prescribed here, where they say that space is Brahman, the mind is Brahman, this kind of meditation is going to be prescribed. So before I meditate, what should happen to me, or what is meant by meditation? Says, so kratumaya purusha. Because a person is identified with this conviction, kratuhu. Kratu means conviction. Kratu nischaya, adhyavasaya. Kratu, Here what it means? It means nischaya, a conviction. Adhyavasaya, a determination. Let there be a conviction in my mind, a determination in my mind. Evameva nanyatha, that this is what it is and not anywhere, anything else. For example, in my mind, there can be this nischaya or conviction that this is Brahman and nothing else. Or whatever it is that I want to meditate upon, this is what it is and nothing else. So this is called kratu. And so, this kind of, you should have that conviction. Adhyavasaya, a determination that this is what it is and in no other way. This is what it is. So how does this help you? Kratu karanam cha abhipretartha siddhi sadhanam katham. That just by having this conviction that this is Ishvara, this is Lord Shiva, this is Krishna, this is Brahman, whatever it is that they want you to meditate upon. So you want to meditate upon. Before that, there is this conviction, this is what it is, nothing else. So this kratuhu, this conviction or the determination is most important. Why is it so? Because kratumayaha purushaha. A purusha, the person, is nothing other than his or her conviction or determination. Whatever conviction I am, that is what I am. Let us say, whatever conviction I have about myself at any moment, that's what I am. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Shraddha mayoyam purushaha. This purusha or person is nothing but is Shraddha. Here it says, Kratumayaha purushaha. A person or human being is nothing other than the kratu or the conviction that he has. It's a very important statement that we are at any moment whatever conviction is. First, conviction about, about various things. Conviction about life, conviction about the goal of whether the Ishvara is there or not. What's the goal of life? Is dharma, artha, kama, moksha, what's the goal of life? Understand that at any moment, whatever we do is determined by the conviction that we have at that time, at that moment. Because my conviction ultimately creates in me that particular desire, and that desire prompts a particular effort. So every moment I am doing something, making an effort. Right now I am doing something. I am speaking to you. That speaking to you comes from a certain desire on my part, which comes from conviction. Who am I? My conviction right now is that I am a teacher. Then I relate to you as a teacher relates with students. Or I am a speaker, You're invited and you go and you address some people. You are just a speaker. So it's not that everybody who talks to others is the teacher. They are speakers. There are rallies and political, many people just speak to people. Or you're invited and you talk on a topic, etc. You're a scholar. I'm a scientist. I'm a scholar. I'm a teacher. I'm a father. Talking to somebody who I'm talking to my son, my daughter. Then it's a different thing. So this is how I always have a conviction or an understanding about who I am at every moment. I keep on changing those roles, all right, but at any moment I always have a conviction about myself. And at that time I am what my conviction is. If I think I am father, that's what I am. Everything else leaves my mind, and I'm just father, I'm mother, I'm grandfather, I'm no good, I'm useless, I'm a failure. Then I come across in a certain way. I'm a victim, I come across in a certain way. I'm success. So whatever I think about myself at a given point, that's what I am. At that moment, who am I? Whatever I think about myself, whatever conviction I have about myself, although my conviction keeps on changing. When you come, then I'm something. Somebody else comes, then I'm something else. Meaning that different fellows come out of me and you push different kinds of buttons, and therefore, all I'm trying to say here is that what are we? We are what our conviction is. First is conviction about myself. Therefore, Vedanta addresses that part. This is, by the way, the primary subject matter of Vedanta is I. Because first what arises in mind is conviction about myself. Then arises conviction about you, who you are. I'm going to judge you based on how I judge myself. If my conviction is that I'm a teacher, then I look upon you as a student. So Vedanta says, look at your convictions, who are you? And then says that you are Brahman. You see, the thing is, they want to do now arrive at this new conviction, Ham Brahmasmi. It's a conviction, understand? You can call it conviction, you can call it a determination, you can call it knowledge. Right now I have knowledge about myself, nobody is ignorant about the self. That's that fortunate or unfortunate thing. I'm always conscious of myself. When I'm conscious of myself, there is going to be a complex about myself. See, Adhyaropa, superimposition takes place only when you are conscious about something. This is the rope. If you are conscious about the rope, then there is the possibility that you may superimpose a snake there. If there is pitch dark and you don't see the rope at all, you are not conscious of rope, there is not going to be. Do you see a snake in the pitch dark? You don't. No superimposition takes place. Nor is superimposition take place in broad daylight when I recognize that object for what it is. But then I see it but don't see it as it is. That is when this adhyaropa takes place or adhyasa takes place. So ultimately this is all upasana. Telling that I am Brahman, that may you have that conviction that what is Brahman. Right now it may not be my knowledge. So before knowledge comes this bhavana or this attitude. So what is meditation? Meditation is maintaining a given attitude. This is all Ishvara. Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam. That Jagat or universe is nothing but Ishvara. That Dhi meaning having that bhavana, having that attitude. So all devotion, bhakti is nothing but bhavana. Karma yoga is bhakti is bhavana. When Lord Krishna says, may you perform your actions as an offering to Ishvara, then this is Ishvara. I am offering my action to Ishvara. So, whether you call it Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Upasana, what is the predominance there? Of Bhavana, of my make-believe thing or attitude. Except that bhavana should be based on what the scriptures are telling us. Then that bhavana will ultimately transform into knowledge. Not any bhavana. So when Bhashyakara says, how should you meditate? You should meditate upon the manner in which the scriptures tell you to do. They don't say bhavana is that this is all useless world. That bhavana they don't ask you to do. What is the bhavana? This is Ishvara. Why is it so? Because that is a fact. But right now I am not ready or not mature enough to see that fact. So how do I prepare my mind? By making myself believe it. How? By developing conviction. For developing conviction, the mind requires some reasoning. You can't develop conviction just like that. So reasoning was given. Tat Jalan. Hey, look at this universe is born of Tat or from Brahma. It is sustained by Brahma. It goes back into Brahma. Therefore it is Brahma. So this reasoning is, so our intellect always wants to know why. Why should I have that conviction? What's the reason? So reason must be there. So here reason is given. And so it makes sense that everything is Brahma. Whether I see that fact or not is a different thing right now, you follow? But my intellect sees. Intellectually I understand that conviction is an intellect. So then what is this meditation, what is this worship or bhavana? So what do? That I deliberately act according to my conviction. That I am Brahman is my bhavana, not my knowledge, okay? Then what do I try to do? I act as though I am Brahman. You follow? I don't feel that way, but I act as though. Fake it till you make it. That's called, or in Vedanta, they talk of Kita Brahmaranyaya, that you must have heard. How a worm becomes a wasp. That's the example. So you may dispute me that Swami, worm doesn't become wasp, and I will not dispute you. But what is observed is that this wasp comes and lays down an egg and then comes and it seems, so it keeps on, what shall I say, stinging. So they say the wasp is, there's so much pain when there is a sting, so wasp thinks it may come now. The worm thinks the wasp may come. So by fear, the worm thinks of wasp. Gets transformed. You mean that when you think of something constantly, then you get transformed. That's the whole idea. So in meditation, upasana is a matter of transformation. That it is possible to transform the mind from where it is to where it should be. So how do you transform the mind? By constantly maintaining that thought. How do you maintain that thought? Based on the conviction that you have developed. So we always have convictions in our life. I don't believe in it, Swami. That's a conviction. I believe in that. Also conviction. I don't care. Conviction. Whatever statement I make is all based on conviction. How does the conviction rise? Some way the intellect has of reasoning and arriving at that conclusion. I don't care. It's not worth being, caring for. That's my conclusion, arriving at my way of reasoning. Every mind has its own way of reasoning. It arrives at this conclusion and that's how it acts. It will be interesting to watch, but we are watching ourselves. The most important is to watch myself. How my behavior, what I do is just determined by what is my conclusion or conviction at that moment. Some process of reasoning gets triggered in my mind at a given point in time and a conviction arises and that's what I am at that time. Kratumayoyam Purusha. This Purusha is nothing but the Kratu. Nothing but whatever and the conviction arises because of reasoning. Meaning it is the nature of intellect also to reason. And it's its own process of reason, right, wrong, and indifferent, some reasoning process in every intellect. And by that reasoning process, we arrive at our conclusion or conviction, and then we act. We cannot act without a conviction. So whenever we act, some conviction is there, understand. And that conviction is arrived at by some reasoning. So reasoning is provided, Tat Jalan. Hey, look, this is all born of Brahman, is sustained by Brahman. Yeah, it makes sense that it is Brahman. So that's how Kartu, that is all Brahman. Makes sense to me? If it does. Normally, Upanishad doesn't have to give you reasoning. It just says, hey, come on, think, meditate upon this Brahman. But he is kind enough to tell me why I should meditate upon Brahman. So sometimes they give us reasoning also. Support the statement by reasoning. Because I always ask, why? So why should I do that? Why do you say it is Brahman? So it is okay, Tat Jalan. So maybe develop that conviction in your mind that this is Brahman. Then only you can meditate upon that as Brahman. You follow? When can I maintain that thought flow that all this is Brahman? That attitude that this is all Brahman. Provided I believe in that, isn't it? When can I believe? When I'm convinced about it. So this being convinced is called conviction, So conviction is what arises when I'm convinced. You follow? And I'm convinced because of a certain reasoning process. So they give you the reasoning process. But understand that whether somebody gives us or not, every moment reasoning always goes on in our mind. And thus every moment we arrive at a given conclusion or conviction. And then that's what I become. Who am I? Kratumaya. I am what my conviction is. It's an amazing thing. And therefore I can be king. When I am dreaming, I can become a beggar because that's what conviction happened at that time. I am a beggar. Or sometimes daydreaming, I have not a penny in my pocket, and then I daydream, I won the lottery, and then I think $1 million I won, and then I got this, that, and things can go on in my mind. Its own way of reasoning that happens at that time. And whatever triggers the reasoning may be different. We need not go into all the psychology, etc. But something always triggers, but reasoning is always there. That's the point here. Our mind always, intellect reasons, arrives at a conclusion, arrives at a conviction, and that's what I am, and that's how I act. Sometimes it's so fast that you don't even notice, that, but it always happens. So they tell us how should you do that? Because you are what your conviction is, let this be your conviction. Atha khalu kratumaya purusha. Yatha kratu. So, who am I? So then how do I form myself? How do I shape myself? It's up to me to shape myself. That's what Upanishad says. Yatha kratuhu asmin loke purusha bhavati tada itah pretya bhavati sa kratum kurvita. May you shape your conviction. Saha kratum kurvita. So see if you see the translation. The last, therefore, he should shape his conviction. Kurvita. As you'll see in the grammar, that this is an injunction. They're prescribing, they're asking us to do something. So they will explain you in Sanskrit, our friends. Kurvita is an adesha, is an injunction. So, Saha kratum kurvita, may one shape one's conviction. So this is what we are asked to do. Shape your conviction. Take the reasoning in your hand. Don't let the mind reason the way it wants and arrive at whatever conclusion habitually you arrive at. We habitually arrive at a conviction anyway. Don't do that. Don't let the habit dictate you. You shape your conviction. What is the conviction? Here, all this is Brahman. Because you are what your conviction is, so therefore, yatha kartu asmin loke purusho bhavati. Whatever my conviction is, because I am my conviction. What happens, Swami? That doesn't remain. It goes away. When I'm in good mood and I'm in the class and everything seems to be fine, and the moment I walk out, put on my shoes or something like that, things change. Okay, that will happen. That's the whole idea of meditation or maintaining a thought flow. Then again bring it back. So you find that your mind has become now different conviction is there. Oh, I'm no good. I'm Brahman, This is stupid world. This is Brahman. So whatever our past experiences are, whatever our complexes are, all of that bring about immediately the old convictions. What do you say? Sarvam khalvidam Brahman. Shape your conviction. What is meant by shaping is that you keep on bringing that conviction back and back and back. So create a new habit of reasoning. What is that? Tad jalan, tad jalan, tad jalan. So a sutra is given, not a very long sentence. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayante visam vishanti. Same thing is tad jalan, you know. So when this is short, given this in a capsule form, tad jalan, tad jaya, talla, tadana. Hey, wait, this is Brahman. Bring back the conviction. What is meditation? The mind gets distracted because of the old habits, because of ragadveshas. But the moment you think, the ragadvesha goes away. This is Brahman, myself. So ragadveshas will go. Then whatever conviction you want. So meditation precedes by conviction. This rule can apply to any meditation. But before you make the conviction, let the mind be free from raga, dvesha. There will be an objective conviction. Otherwise, it will be a colored conviction, distorted conviction. The convictions are there, but generally those convictions are distorted by likes and dislikes. I don't see the world as it is. I see it through glasses of my likes and dislikes. So my complexes and fears and all of these usually play the role in arriving at the conviction at a given point. Don't allow that. Habitually it happens. Again, sarvam khalvidam brahma. Or whatever. If you want to meditate on something, you want to become something else, meditate on something else, may that be the conviction. So, sa yatha kritasmin loke purusho bhavati. If I keep on shaping this conviction again and again and again, so we say what is meditation is sajatya vritti pravaha, maintaining a flow of thought of the same nature. Sarvam khalvidam brahma, sarvam khalvidam brahma, this is Brahman, all this is Brahman, all this is Brahman. Or I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. It makes sense that I should be Brahman. So I don't experience it, don't worry. Makes sense to you or not? Makes sense. This body I cannot be. Mind I cannot be. Intellect I cannot be. Idam shariram kaunde kshetram iti abhidhyate. This body is kshetram, is drushya, is an atma. Makes sense. When I am in right mind, it makes sense. I am kshetrajna, I am the witness of that. Yes. So Brahman, it makes sense. Okay. So bring it, then again, what happens? Body is I. Again it comes back, the old habit. You bring it back. So that's how we will shape our, we are already shaped. So what I am right now is the result of all the convictions I have been only entertaining so far, understand. So we make ourselves, we shape ourselves. We are our own sculptors, keep on shaping ourselves. So then how do you reshape yourself? Just by conviction. So conviction is given to you. And other convictions are given about meditation. How you should look upon that mind is nothing but Brahman, this is nothing but Brahman. Okay, that's the conviction. But here, I am Brahman. Act as though you are Brahman. So our Swami would say, physicalize your attitude. Don't just maintain the attitude, then it doesn't settle down. Physicalize the attitude means you act according to that attitude. Hey, wait a minute, I am Brahman. Then be generous, be charitable, accommodate, forgive. Brahman cannot be inimical to anybody. I am, but Brahman cannot be. Then, so fake it. In Upasana is faking. Faking means imagining, believing. Fake is not a good word. Pretending, let us say. I pretend to be Brahman. Why do I pretend? Because it is my intellectual conviction. So that was intellectual thing, experience, etc. Alright. So conviction is intellectual. And you want to make it your experience. That is how you shape yourself. Such that it becomes yours, it becomes spontaneous to you. Then it is called experience. So what is right now momentary. When I'm in right mind, yes, everything is Brahman. When my old habit comes back, then again I bring it back. So, sakratum kurvita, may shape your conviction. It's a wonderful thing. Meaning that, it's all in our own hands. Uddharet atmana atmanam. May you lift yourself by yourself from those convictions that you have about yourself with various complexes. Now, may you maintain this conviction. So, you shraddhamayo yam purusha or so kratumayaha purusha. So, where Lord Krishna is about shraddha, it is kratuhu or conviction. And so a person is what the conviction is. Whether I believe in God, I don't believe in God, whatever. So you are a nationalist, you are a Democrat, you are a communist, you are the XYZ, whatever you are, all conviction. That person's mind reasoned in a certain way to arrive at this conviction. They are not available for the reasoning, that's a different thing. But we are available because we are Shraddha, we have the trust in the veracity of scriptures. Shraddha. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya. Shastra Vakya and Guru Vakya Satyam. Then, even if my mind doesn't agree with that, I say, wait a minute, this is what it says, so you have to agree. Isn't it? You have Shraddha in Shastra or in Guru, then I don't listen to my mind. I listen to Guru or I listen to Shastra and I shape my mind according to that. That's the process of self-transformation. You can call it meditation, transformation. So, then of course a lot of things are told subsequent to this as to how you should meditate, etc. So, let's turn the page. We just a sample here of the kind of meditation that are prescribed. Yeah, then it said also that the sentence there was, let me complete that discussion. Yatha kratuhu asmin loke purusha bhavati tata itah pretya bhavati. So whatever you are, whatever your conviction is in this life, while you are alive, this is what you become after death. So Lord Krishna says, yam vapi smaran bhavam tijatyante kalevaram tam tameva idikant. It's interesting how Bhashikara quotes that thing here. Upanishad says that whatever conviction is you are in this life, so you shape your conviction. Whether you were completely able to shape to whatever extent you shaped your conviction. And whatever conviction you shaped because that is called your effort, that's called meditation. In meditation, I take the mind in my hand. I don't allow the mind to think the way it thinks. I want it to think the way that's called, meditation. Because mind thinks anyway, and thinks of whatever it wants. And all kinds of connections are there, whatever be the reason. Chanchalam yamana Krishna pramati balavadridam, etc. Mind is restless and is difficult to control. Doesn't matter, abhyasa. Abhyasa in the count there, vairagya, Lord Krishna is abhyasa. Repeat your conviction. Because mind comes back to old habits and the conviction changes. So this is a lifetime effort. And maybe you shaped your conviction that I am Brahman, or however much you shaped it, that's what you become. So Lord Krishna says, whatever is the last thought while you depart from here, that is what determines your destination. What is that last thought? Sada tad bhava bhavita. Lord Krishna says, what is the last thought? What determines the last thought? Sada tad bhava bhavita. Whatever bhavana he has done for the whole of his life, whatever kratu or conviction he has cultivated, and that's how shaped himself. That's what he continues. And so this all comes with us. The Vidya Karmani, Vidya and Karma, both of them go, and also Purva Prajna cha, and the relative Vasanas also go with him. So Upanishad says that this comes to you, this everything else remains here. Meaning the body remains here and everything else remains here, and thank God for that. We don't want an 80-year-old body to come back to you, we want a fresh body. And you want to have a fresh start. You are tired and exhausted, and the Lord says, don't worry, I'll take away this old stuff and give you a new one. And start all over again. If you lived an intelligent life, then you will continue to live that. Lived a stupid life, that's what will continue. So not shaping your kratu or conviction properly is living unintelligently. What is living intelligently is shaping our conviction based on realities of life. That's all the Upanishad says. Not a make-believe thing. But then we kept on thinking in an emotional, impulsive way. That's what I become. So in India they always chant Narayana, Narayana at the end, when the person is passing away, they think that that's what the thought will come in his mind, and he will become Narayana. He is not even listening to you, that time. Yeah. We wished, we shouted that time, and hopefully he may listen also, that's our hope. So even though Lord Krishna says, whatever be your last thought, that determines your destiny. So there, the Abhinav Gupta says, don't worry about this last thought. Last thought is not important. Whether you die in Uttarayana, northern solstice, don't worry about it. That's what he says. Abhinav Gupta in commentary, this verse says, don't worry. Just because somebody dies in Dakshinayana, that doesn't mean that he goes to, doesn't go to. What happens, all that is done is in life, it goes waste just because you die at a wrong time, at a wrong place. You die at night, so you're gone. You die in the Krishna Paksha, Dakshinayana, in wrong place. People die in all kinds of places. So we will go to Kashi, and so you die there and therefore, which is good. I don't disbelieve in all this, etc. But at the same time, we should not plan that I will take care of my death, so I need not worry about how I live. Lord Krishna says how you live determines how you die. And not where you die, etc., at what time you die, with what thought you die, is determined by what kind of thoughts we have deliberately entertained, or our mind is entertained. So let not the mind entertain whatever thought it wants. You impose this thinking process in your mind. So yatha kratu asmin loke bhavati. Whatever kratu or conviction he has shaped, and thus he has become, we become. If what we are is our kratu or conviction, then it's up to us to keep on maintaining that conviction. That's what you become. Even though outwardly you are this, inwardly I am what my conviction is. Inwardly I can be Brahman. Outwardly I look like an ordinary person. Inwardly I can be Brahman, or I can be anything that I have deliberately entertained. You follow? Sada tad bhava bhavidah. Whatever kratu bhavana he has entertained, the summation of that is what comes at the end of the life. We are not concerned about that, Vedanta doesn't bother about end of life and next birth, etc. What we are at present is what is Vedanta's concern. But people are always concerned what happens after death. And most questions generally always, what happens after death and this and that. Vedanta doesn't. So, since they talk about this death, so we talk about it. Vedanta is not concerned about death and next birth, etc. It's all there, we believe in that. But that is not our concern is the present. And what to do in the present. Kratum kurvita, and therefore may you shape your conviction. So whatever be the shape ultimately as a result of your effort, sometimes The birth, the development of child is not complete, incomplete. Meaning that your development is not complete. There are many stories in Puranas where the child is born not complete. This Kashyap Prajapati had these two consorts. One is Vinata, other is Kadru. These two wives are there. And Kadru had, the children of Kadru are all these cobras and snakes and things. In 1,000 she gave birth. So both of them were pregnant, all right. Except that this Vinata, her, this embryo would require a long time to mature. And those fellows were born quickly, and so this Vinata, so how Kadru is, how happy she's always playing with her children, and how nice it is. I don't have my child. So she had given birth, all right, to an egg, but then she was told, wait for 1,000 years. She could not wait. I also want to have my child. See how Vinata, but there is always jealousy, naturally. And so this Sapatni, or whatever you call it, so she has these children and I should also have my child. So that egg was broken prematurely. Instead of 1,000 years, it's too long to wait, 500. Therefore, the child was born only half-shaped. His lower half of the body was not developed. You know who that is? Aruna. That's his charioteer of Lord Sun, Surya. He's only upper half. So when they show you the picture, you see only upper half. He doesn't have the lower half, supposedly anyway. So this can happen. It can happen that, the whole thing is, even though you shaped yourself with the kratu, the shape did not take place completely. You follow? Doesn't matter. You proceed next with that, and then you work on that. So that's the hope here. That you, in the next verse, you become where you stopped here. Not that what you did all goes to waste and you start all over again. Thank God, that is not so. You continue from where you left here. So continue to shape. If you are lucky enough, and hopefully you will be exposed to this teaching, and then again you will continue your kratu. But this is the teaching. Look at this. There is nothing like this. I don't know. I have not studied other scriptures, but I wonder whether can you find this kind of teaching and this kind of guidance as to how to live the life. Because you can see the profound understanding about the life and about the mind that the sages have. Very profound statement. Kratumaya purushaha yo yashraddha sayevasaha. One is what one's shraddha is. One is what one's kratu is, one is what one's conviction is. And then it's in my hand what conviction I show. Therefore, kratum kurvita. May you shape your conviction. Live an awareful life. Not an impulsive life. Not a mechanical life. Because mind either acts impulsively or mechanically. Then in which case then we are not awake, we are not alert. Remain alert. Meaning that let the mind not be mechanical and go in its own track. Let it not be impulsive, let it not be reactive. Then let there be viveka, let there be deliberation. So, he's teaching us what is meditation is. It's not that you do it only when you're meditating, sitting there. Of course you do, but let it be, let it reflect in your day-to-day life. It's not that only half an hour, 1 hour you meditate and then the rest of the time you do, allow the mind to do what it wants. That cannot be. And so this process can go on even when you're interacting with everybody. You're living your life, which you have to. So I can't meditate whole day, but you can meditate in this way. You can be always conscious of what is my conviction. And bring back the mind to that conviction. That we can do constantly. And so, yatha kratu. So, sa kratum kurvita. May the person shape his conviction. And shaping is like a sculpture. It's a constant process. Shaping goes on constantly. And I need not wait for morning and evening only. It can go on constantly for the whole day as I am living my life. That can go on. Yathakratuhu. And then I can't blame anybody. This is what, Vedanta doesn't allow us to blame anybody. Because I am what I am is because of what I did. My father is, my mother is like that, and then that's all psychology. Vedanta says you are what you are because of what you are. And doesn't matter, you are because of a mother, father, grandfather, somebody, but now it's up to you to form yourself. Can't always keep on complaining, my father did this, mother did this, grandmother, Take the law in your hands. Take your life in your hand. Sakratum kurvita. May you shape your conviction. That's up to us. So how to live life? In a way, that's what we are told here. Not only how to meditate. So meaning meditation need not be confined only to a particular time. Certainly it should be done. But that's when you do it in a focused way. Otherwise you're not that focused, it's a dilute way. But a dilute meditation can go on even when you're doing things. Because one part of the mind can be always be aware of what my conviction is. How am I acting? Am I brother, sister, father, mother? Our Swami used to say that yes, they are all relative things. I am father, I am mother, so that's all relative. But then there is one relationship that always exists. What is that? That I am Brahman. That doesn't change. Or my relation with Ishvara. And so it's a devotee father, devotee mother, devotee brother, devotee. So I am father all right, but devotee father, devotee mother, devotee son, devotee brother, devotee servant. Or Brahma is father, Brahma is mother, Brahma is this. So that can remain. So whereas I am required to change and assume different roles, that's what my vyavahara or the interaction requires. At the same time, that I am Brahman, that can remain in my mind. And that is the most important, not what you do. Ultimately, that's what influences what we do anyway. And therefore, as our Swami says, physicalize your attitude. Put that attitude in practice. Don't say I'm Brahman and then you snatch something away and you be, narrow-minded, etc. How can you be? So I say, wait a minute, I am Brahman and I am acting like this, I feel it, so I change. Anyway, so this is how, this is in the context of meditation that we are told. But Kratu is conviction about something, or Kratu can be conviction about myself. And that's what determines what I am and what I do. Okay, well, we'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.